Alright, it's for Nyasha for a movie but once again about platform so a Pinax TV. And me know because we are streaming live on Facebook and we are also streaming live on YouTube. The breaking news as at now part as a Kennedy a compre Agyapong on ne a year Kevin Taylor or more court case issue. No, finally we have a verdict. Finally we have a verdict here. I know said this case have been going on for a while now. Obia on expectations as to who should win and who should not win, and even how the case should go. Beneno, Sena, they be a catcher on say Ghana courts, no, and this US, dear. US, no, or the Assam Kohua, in Chimukin kind, they be. JB Dunker, we a cover 5 years, Assam that's what courts. 5-6 years, and that's what court. We don't know who is guilty or who is not guilty. But Abruchi the Antissa. The Inti America Sani said, Menokasa currently we have a verdict of Agyapong and also a year Kevin Taylor court case. Now, one person has lost, another person has won. So the big question currently is who has lost, who has won. Answering maybe going to details of all of this. Now, my page said, said on this particular platform, we said the KBR usually we come with a backing. We don't just say anything. We make sure we come with the backing. In fact, a court documents can be brave. Court documents be brave. At the end of the day, you need a right here on this particular platform. You try your home, All right, so let's start off with the breaking news as at now. The Ensaka, we share live on Facebook, where you Pinax TV. We share live on YouTube, where you Pinax TV. We are streaming live on both ends. This is the breaking news. So finally, Agyapong and a year Kevin Taylor or more court case. We have a winner. Now, answer na me going into details. Me person me didn't maybe able to screen. So the person who broke the news so far, Yatsi news. Acquire and Namswa we have the verdict. I'll be giving you more details into that. I'll be putting this on the screen very soon. I think says and Saka. Therefore, I want you to pay. Someone tell me, I think so right now the voice is in. I think so right now the voice is in. So it's for Mufan Chami for that break in transmission there. What I'm saying is that currently we have a winner in this court case. And Nipa Bakwa or breaking news, MIS and Saka, even though Kevin Taylor himself, in himself very soon he will come and then talk about this issue. Nipa Bakwa on also breaking news is none other than a year Chris Vincent, who is the editor-in-chief of the editor-in-chief of the Ghana Celebrities. On no breaking news, we have this news on our front desk. Kennedy Agyapong has lost the court case. So first of all, we enter screen. So the way to screen. So you see, this particular thing is coming from Chris Vincent. In reading some Chris Vincent, Kevin Taylor, and also or the two Janano, and how we came to this. Because beginning there we thought Agyapong was going to win the case, everything was pointing to Agyapong was win until this. Now let's read this. I'll say, as a lawyer, I've always told people, especially those in Ghana, that the legal threshold for public figures to prove defamation is exceptionally high, and you cannot easily win a case against a publisher. Actual malice is a specific requirement in a public figure cases. Don't worry. Kevin Taylor's motion to dismiss Agyapong's defamation lawsuit against him has been granted as no actual malice was proven. The court says failure to investigate by a journalist or a publisher does not demonstrate actual malice, a well-established principle of defamation law. In Ghana, public figures just sue and win defamation cases because a lot, which I don't understand, try in any jurisdiction and you won't win. This was what a year Casper Lyle ni amponsa eposti ya Chris Vincent so then share on the social media handle. I'll be giving you the court case, the document, and what is happening. Court releases are or thereby or chess in Agyapong. Sebe in some day a court say he wants to sue Kevin Taylor. No, it doesn't hold any merit. Michemu ya Sebe nyansa enim. Let me explain this in tree after we go to the actual court rate. Yensaka court rate it's a be trying to throw and that I'll say in Japan. He has lost the court case. We lose. He has lost. In fact, losing Krano is so nice a word. They dismissed the court case. Now, this particular thing here, Casper Lani and Ponsa Epusi or Patcher say, they be our Casa Ghana for what's here now? No, Ibu or Pinax, when I'm for framing, yeah, they will call court. And what can semi fire home? I'll sue you. And I tell them, say they should go on and sue. The first say a publisher has published something about you. That doesn't mean say you can sue the person, say defamation. A public space, obi to meet Chen Adrian. Acquire say me who obi na me say who fa. That doesn't mean I'm degrading the person. A me perception. So in the law in courts, no, so who say bibi atu obi now can share what dream, which is an opinion-based thing about somebody. The person cannot stand on that thing and sue you. But Ghana, once you have a name, you're a politician, you're a public figure, they just sue and win. To me, that is very stupid. And Untiana is sue Kevin Taylor in US. No, Kevin Taylor was using a word say, sue else I will sue. Sue else I will sue. And he knew exactly what he was saying. Because he knew, say, in that jurisdiction, you know, Agyapong was going to lose because there was no room for any biasness or minimum way in the land of the United States of America. And you know, in some lawyer way, a part say Ghana the obey to me sorry say obey sue near the but in US it's not like that. Now, say I'm can kind so we say obi adia waye na enye adia. It's just an opinion and you cannot sue a person based on that and win, especially in US. Kevin Taylor and the motion is here, and according to this particular law, party say you have dismissed Agyapong's motion, defamation motion against Kevin Taylor. I party said there's no actual malice, and I said no actual malice was proven. Malice means at the bonnet. It is straight defamation. Any in some Agyapong the buy no, the rates no, any lawyers in some no. I can tell a case me de me boni bi a chairman general. Lawyers stream American judges ne omo council nation mu say no. In some Kevin Taylor can say or no the opinion on my no. In fact, the judges have apologized say yes, a opinion. And omushe say no actual malice. So we see Agyapong a corrupter. How did it damage Agyapong's credibility? How did it prove Agyapong? And how did it make Agyapong get the stroke or whatever some people are purporting he got? And Nuntiana, they stood on this to dismiss it. Now, the other one I'll say, the court says failure to investigate by a journalist or a publisher does not demonstrate actual malice, a well-established principle of defamation law. Let me give you a clear and typical example. Last 2 years, a year Fox News, Tucker Carlson. Yesu no bebre yesu penny we win because the court is saying say the first say a person have come to give the opinion against an answer about an issue no that doesn't mean say asem na nipa na kan eyampa and enyampa. That doesn't mean say asem na nipa na kan eyampa and enyampa. This is actually what is happening. So, in this case, it happened. The same thing happened in US. Kevin Taylor has won the case. In Ghana, public figures just sue and win defamation case, which are not actually the case. Kevin Taylor before all of this happened. Near the court straight not to us. So we've been trying to put some certain videos on the screen. Basically, let me say machine is freezy, and I don't know what is really happening, but we'll try as much as possible to make sure that we can do something about this particular issue, because it's very much important to us. Say, Ubeti in Sema Kevin Taylor immediately after this whole court case and how it happened.
It me, I have dared you. When you obianima kasa me, obianima kasa I mean to obiasem, I will do it. But I want you to show it. I am daring you. You are in America here with me, so release it. My mouth for who say what John Mahama naked videos or no bad down in the picture. Show it. I am daring you. Yes, show it. But I am going to show you. Me, I work with time. Initially, when I started journalism and also started streaming on Facebook and all that, minya document and minya story, and I'll give everything to you people. Now, ukofia media houses no chief no kwame sefa kan wanom jota ne siniti nyina say if you are pocket ni big movie any sa concert for no mtro ha o document no masay no right now me yima mo kakran me fidi mu say portrait koko. Yes, I am daring you again, Canada, Japan. I am saying on authority, say show John Mahama's naked videos and naked pictures, because I have yours. 12 minutes. Be down over President Teddy and their ball sit bought me, because I will show. And I'm so one I would dare Mrs. Show.
So this is what really happened. In summer a year Kevin Taylor a year immediately Agyapong said he was going to sue a year or no Kevin Taylor, and Kevin Taylor brought all of these things out. He was saying Agyapong should sue him, and apparently in some no can in a camera question na sabi ebia na a year ne 9 age bibi so, and this is exactly what we are seeing currently. This is a clear definition. So indeed Kevin Taylor was not going to get it. Agyapong was not going to get it easy like that. This is the situation. So we have some of the rates on the screen. Some of the rates here, there are two screens. So we a clear rate. You can see, after you dismiss Agyapong's motion to sue Kevin Taylor, you really see all the rates and then the involved. So let's highlight this. Now, Ubi Biara Ocean, wait me what is actually going on and how we even got to this place in the first place. Now, as you can see on the screens, first was the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia, Alexandria Division. You can see here Kennedy Ohene Agyapong, who is the plaintiff on the Assembly Court, versus a Loud Silence Media LLC, which is a limited liability company, or defendant, a civil action number 121-1205, which is currently handed and are currently being presided over by Honorable Liam O. Grandi. So, yeah, share introduction and in the order of case. Remember, you will not hide anything from anybody. Now, at the end of the day, we'll see how we came here. Now, the order and also introduction. The matter comes before the court of the defendant's motion to dismiss the amended complaint. Docket number 13. The motion has been fully briefed by the parties and is now ripe for consideration. Yeah, patches say in summer Kennedy Agyapong or the court against a year Kevin Taylor no. You see both counsels, which means you take Agyapong side. You see a year Kevin Taylor side. You see side no. The court is in full order to give their own consideration about the case. You cut to the background. Also, the plaintiff in this case, Kennedy Agyapong, is an individual who is a citizen and a resident of the nation Ghana, District 12 at 12. Agyapong is an elected member of Ghana's parliament and is the chair of the board of Ghana's Gas Limited. The defendants in this case are Kevin Taylor, an individual, and the company Loud Silence Media. Taylor is a resident of Virginia and currently lives in Alexandria, Virginia. Taylor is the founder and the manager of LSM, which is a Loud Silence Media, which is a limited liability company organized in Virginia. And in some courts, no air patch and say, you see both sides. No, you see an background of the two individuals, who Kennedy Agyapong is and who Kevin Taylor is. Kennedy Agyapong, your chair of Ghana Gas, or your MP, or your the Defense 1 committee in Parliament, or a businessman. all the titles has been given to him and the accolade has been given to him. Kevin Taylor, what Kevin Taylor is standing to get here is simple. Kevin Taylor is standing to get say, or an individual are operating loud silence media, which is a limited liability company, which means they are able to default. You can't LLC, which is a limited liability company, they are able to default. Now, because this is getting sketchy, and we'll come to the conclusion how King Agyapong lost this particular case. Or see, that has in principle of place of business in Alexandria appears on several news shows broadcast over the internet website, YouTube and Facebook, and etc. Taylor and LSM, which is a loud silence media, produce news media that focuses on the people and politics of the country Ghana. One of the shows produced by the defendant is titled With All Due Respect. Taylor is the host and the presenter of this show. The show streams live on Facebook and YouTube to a large audience. The plaintiff has alleged that Taylor has made several defamatory statements on his show and further alleges that these false accusations were intended to humiliate and disparage the integrity of the plaintiff. Based on the statements, the plaintiff has filed the current civil action in this court. Basically, what the court is saying, and say Kevin Taylor, on the operating in loud silence media, and King Agyapong say in sema waka about ono King Agyapong, on the loud silence media Facebook stream or Facebook and YouTube, no, a good on King Agyapong who fear a see me and I seem to denigrate his integrity, which means King Agyapong ni di breno e say no, and we tell King Agyapong issue loud silence media and also Kevin Taylor. We understand you are na yet twasa or see the first alleged defamation, defamatory statement that the defendant made was an accusation that Agyapong is connected to the 2016 murder of a Ghanaian member of parliament. Taylor has also accused Agyapong of being responsible for the murder of a journalist and has reported on corruption in the Ghana Football Association. Taylor has accused King Agyapong of using his fake green cards to help Ghanaian citizens immigrate to the United States. Taylor has accused King Agyapong of trafficking in illegal drugs. Taylor has accused King Agyapong of being addicted in illegal drugs. Taylor has accused King Agyapong of financial corruption. Agyapong has alleged Taylor has repeatedly made and continued to make these statements as recently as September 2021. Agyapong alleges that Taylor knew these statements were false and that these statements were made knowingly and recklessly. In some Kevin Taylor agent so our court issue King Agyapong agent so court issue Kevin Taylor and say King Agyapong say Kevin Taylor say or delay in drugs or cocaine dealer. Again, King Agyapong according to Kevin Taylor, Kevin Taylor say or no King Agyapong no any drug dealers ejuma. We understand according to or no King Agyapong person Kevin Taylor person all the business dealings or corrupt. King Agyapong business dealing corrupt. We understand Kevin Taylor patch say the GFA scandal course so and that's na scandal course the GFA number 12 no King Agyapong eka ho onim ho ono shechire oye corrupt individual in the GFA scandal. We enusufiwa emre bi etwem in the late 90s King Agyapong de some green card bi buy ono the first person or the green card lottery one buy. According to Kevin Taylor, a fraud scheme King Agyapong otimi edeba the millionaire skill and otimi be a millionaire. These are things and assumptions Kevin Taylor make. We and also few near to also based on the listening of disparaging remarks, Agyapong has filed the amended complaint with counts 1 defamation, 2 defamation per se, and violation of Virginia Computer Crimes Act. It's in summer. According to courts, King Agyapong edi jina so issue Kevin Taylor and say defamation, violation, and a Virginia among Computer Crimes Act since untimi ko abuse you be on social media and King Agyapong so di jina so issue Kevin Taylor in the Virginia courts. Now, let's move on to the next one. Make catch us say rates in the Ebekon because I am paying you know. In some people say now people don't want to hear the facts and the figures of the case. So we do well to make sure we brief any person of the facts and the figures of this particular case. Now, here's the legal standing of this particular case. That is what we are putting on the screens. Now, to survive a motion to dismiss under the Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 12B Clause C, a complaint must contains sufficient factual allegations that will state a claim to relief that is plausible to its fact. If these allegations are accepted as true, a motion to dismiss pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil must be considered in combination with Federal Rule of Civil Procedure, which requires a short and plain statement of the claim showing that the pleader is entitled to relief, so as to give the defendant fair notice of what the claim is and grounds upon which it rests. Don't worry. What a well-plead complaint only infers the mere possibility of misconduct. The complainant does not demonstrate a plaintiff is entitled to relief. Pleadings that amend labels and conclusions will not be accepted as true. District courts may also consider materials attached to the complaint so long as the authenticity is challenged and the materials are integral or relied within the complaint. Discussions. Under defamation and defamation per se, under Virginia law, a complaint for defamation must plead 3 elements. 1, publication. 2, actional statement. With 3, the requisite intent. That is a case. Oh yeah, law kakrabun say law no aya ye ma rulings ye timiko for big case. In fact, I'll say in requisite intent, Lackover vs. Harper 995. A similar case, of course. So, at the motion to dismiss stage, all alleged defamation remarks are considered false. Therefore, a district court must consider if the remarks otherwise are actionable. Basically, in some court, can say, Agyapong, oba ye no, oba court no, o sin some Kevin Taylor can nyampa. Kevin Taylor so no, what he was given was an opinion based. It's unim say nyampa. Kevin Taylor enka sen sem na o kan yampa. Listen. It's different if Agyapong sued Kevin Taylor and Kevin Taylor said in court, say those things that he said were true and he has evidence to it. But Kevin Taylor is saying, say, social media, or no dear, na eja oma ni own opinion about a case. He was giving his own opinion about a case. Opinion no man, and no Kevin Taylor enka say no cre and answer no cre. If Agyapong you say no cre, Kevin Taylor so cast your opinion and he's not saying it's the truth. Why are we even in court in the first place? And the rules of engagement on social media and even the public space obi better TV so cast assume you say I don't just say the actual truth. Or can I say my opinion? It's also and how you can release a rebuttal statement, or perhaps you can take on a legal action to say nyampa, let the person come and prove. But once the person is saying nyampa, no man opinion now, according to the Virginia District Court, United States of America, party say it doesn't hold any grounds for Agyapong to sue Kevin Taylor. That is why they dismissed the case. We have about 3 more bullets now. In some, back to the conclusion. Now let's see this. Let's see this. Yeah, large way. Or say, as a public figure, Agyapong must demonstrate that Taylor made the allegedly defamation statement with actual malice to recover damages for defamation. The New York Times, and a cite example, CO vs. Sullivan 376. 1964. Actual malice does not mean the defamatory statements were spitefully made, but rather it means that the statements were made with knowledge that the statements were false, or the statements were made with a reckless disregard for the veracity. A reckless disrespect is shown when the statements are published with high degree of awareness and that statements are likely to be false. In summer, you see, before Metwasono, Kevin Taylor made a statement, say Agyapong will hire the richest lawyer because Agyapong will pay the most expensive lawyer. Kevin Taylor made a small, your friend is saying, statement based on that. Or say, hire the richest lawyer or the expensive lawyer, I'll hire the smartest lawyer. This is the difference, smart and expensive. And clearly, Taylor has outsmarted Agyapong and is rich and expensive lawyers. In summer, law no air can in Virginia air party say, Obia can somehow found Kevin Taylor made announcement in some kind. How true the Kevin Taylor news say some kind of nyampa? How true did Kevin Taylor knew that in some kind about Agyapong is not true? On your opinion, Samitina has said, you see, that is why in pain me catch us a Ghana, we need to start thinking deep. Obi radio presenter awoka say Akufo-Addo yere akoto asase ewo AU village ni akwache no. US, this case will not fly. That was why I came on after Bobi and I was telling you say trash. The Ghana police is acting like I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense because what the person said is an opinion. But this case, a similar case in US, Kevin Taylor has won. This is what all I've been talking about. 1924 acres travel and see. Travel and see. If you travel, you realize that certain cases will not fly. And this is how Kevin Taylor has won over a year in Agyapong, which is a sad thing. Now, Omo Party say, so the person needs to make it with a full awareness in some nyampa. In some me report say Akufo-Addo is dead, not unwuya. Se me minim sa Akufo-Addo enwuya na samate ana bibi say na mehu na maka so as reports say Akufo-Addo is dead. You can't come and arrest me. You can't even come and jail me for defamation or anything because what I said, me and Kasana minim say no kra na nya no kra. A opinion, and you can't hold people based on opinion. Opinion are like onions, they say. That is why the US is citing, and in this case, they are citing a reference to a similar case which happened at New York Post, a report here. And no party say, your friend is saying, say a case malice needs to be made with actual intent. According to the court, Kevin Taylor did not make this with his actual intent. Also, Agyapong has not pledged sufficient factual materials to show the statements were made with actual malice. Agyapong alleges Taylor knew the statements regarding the murders were false because other individuals were arrested for the murder, and Taylor has not verified a video that was published on YouTube show. It's true that avoidance of truth can demonstrate actual malice, but a mere failure to investigate does not demonstrate actual malice. You see, for clarity, no, me be too sweet, so because I believe saying some American, you're too deep. But I'm trying my possible best to make sure say your friend is saying some me I'll be able to, and I say my course I'll be able to explain it. At the end of the day, Obia Oshem no better. So may the highlighting better so me can highlight, and that basically what I'm saying is that I'm come to highlight certain tests I make and it's if we are more no, you guys can follow exactly where we are going. Now at the end of the day, no bit me exactly where I am and even what I'm saying because tests and pain no. So I think say highlights no are you ready? Highlights no are you ready? Highlights are ready. It's highlights in the two screen so and in red no and no and in red now. My man in your faint kakra your man are your faint. So this is the highlight. I say Agyapong has not pledged sufficient factual material to show that the statements were made with actual malice. Agyapong alleges that Kevin Taylor knew the statement regarding the murderers were false because other individuals were arrested for the murderers, and Taylor has not verified a video that was published on his YouTube. Or say, it is true that avoidance of truth cannot demonstrate actual malice, but a mere failure to investigate does not demonstrate actual malice. We can be a YouTuber, a social media commentator. Now, person fighting for the freedom to free Ghana. Listen, we a social media commentator. Now, person do see what say you fight, and I say you say things, and now you hate the government. Ghana is not the best place for you because Ghana, so similar case. By this time, Kevin Taylor them. See, I like in Japan. Everybody knows it, but A. Boni catcher say Obi Betna say the president's wife. Rebecca Akufo-Addo wakoto asase wo AU village na wakakeke na wakanke nti so kwachina. It does not make sense. Tide Bronini is saying this because Bronini said the first say presenter Bobi answer one koye investigation no and no nche say asemo kind we need to hold him accountable. It is opinion. Akufo-Addo ka say it's good so now so ye breno. Was he saying this with an discuss here? Was he saying it with actual knowledge? Say it was just an opinion. You can't sue Akufo-Addo based on that. But in Ghana, this case, Kevin Taylor will have been in jail. And this America just saying, "Pimp, you know, to court na brochi to say movie." And these things, no, a chaff, a bro, a bebo, a best answer. And this is exactly what we are seeing now. Case no dear, we will be going on and on and on. Now, the next one, it is for to screen so no any, and this is where it is getting sketchy because at the end of the day, no courts why King Agyapong's case, no, we should not regard it say okay, yenchi King Agyapong, sorry, Kevin Taylor case, no, yenchi Kevin Taylor because in some no kind see the because they say court to say yembung or say other persons were arrested for the other persons were arrested for these murders does not imply Taylor was avoiding the truth. In some courts in they said the fact say other people near sure say okay they are in connection with the murder of the late JB Dankwa Kevin Taylor report that doesn't mean say in some Kevin Taylor was knowingly seeking to avoid the truth. Knowingly seeking to avoid the truth, according to the courts, no, that is not a ground for that argument. Again, also it is apparent that these statements themselves that Taylor is referring that he believes Agyapong is responsible for the murders, not that Agyapong pulled the trigger himself. In some Kevin Taylor, according to courts, no, all penny lawyers, they say in some Kevin Taylor, Emeki and King Agyapong, Kevin Taylor doesn't say Agyapong is responsible for the murder. But he believes, say, perhaps who will be. And also use a word, say, perhaps or believe say King Agyapong and who because in the PM near there. And not just a King Agyapong a tree throne, Ekun Ahmed Hussein Swale, Ekun, sorry, the late JB Dankwa. It's Osha in Semna yet Swasona, or say. In addition, the YouTube video reference to the complaint prominently displays a news article that refers to a government investigation into threats that Agyapong made to other journalists. The materials referenced in the amended complaint and the amended complaint itself demonstrate that Taylor had not at least some factual basis for his political commentary. In some lawyers and the court agent so I can say in some committee like I know he was saying it based on political opinions. A article be true not chair na adwin. Obi atro article na Kevin Taylor chair na adwin and no chair say Kevin Taylor is guilty of defamation. Again, the amended complaint only makes conclusions and pleads actual material that challenge the veracity of complaints of statements of Taylor's statements. The amended complaint does not plead any factual material that sheds light on Taylor's subjective state of mind. Therefore, my inquiry. Yes. So, I say the Taylor's statement. So the amended statement. The amended statement does not plead any factual matter that sheds light on Taylor's subjective state of mind. Therefore, the amended complaint and the material reference within does not create any plausible interference that Taylor harbors any doubt to the veracity of the story or the unverified video's credibility. In summer, Kevin Taylor, any King Agyapong especially original court can say. Kevin Taylor fine. We need evidence to prove Semina Mikun, the late JB. We need evidence Semina me cooking dealer. But at the end of articles now, the 20 videos I'll show you to support your claims. No, those videos, no. Why didn't you cross check if they are true or not? And a court agent so I can say the first say one quiet investigation and now I for obi video I bet one and no one does not create a harbor. Your friend is saying. In some Kevin Taylor ekayen chinchina china yampa. Into share statement or say the materials referenced within do not create any plausible interference that Taylor harbors any doubt as to the veracity of the story and or the unverified video's credibility. So sad. Again, yen trust because akabe 3 penna yedinina Abewi. I say the pleadings regarding the statement about King Agyapong's committing immigration fraud. This year, JB Dankwa de immigration fraud. Now, see the pleadings regarding the statement about Agyapong's committing immigration fraud or are similarly deficient. The amended complaint argues the crime defendants fabricated and forcefully associated with plaintiff is practically impossible. One of the key things are King Japan it sue agents sue Kevin Taylor in court and they say Kevin Taylor say King Japan cocaine dealer and also assassin will be PM our courts. Now a PM more courts the pleadings regarding the statement about King Japan committing immigration fraud any say King Japan in 1996 a year immigration lottery we no and a fraud no. The amended complaints almost party say crime defendants no or see the amended complaint argues that the crime defendants fabricated and forcefully associated with plaintiff is practically impossible. Again, the amended complaint goes on to argue that it is essentially impossible to require a false United States green card because of the sophistication of the United States immigration system. These pleadings do not support any interference of Taylor's state of mind, and at the best, the accusations that he failed to investigate the claims. The pleadings are also conclusionary and also such not considered as true. Without any pleading that could be considered for circumstantial evidence of Taylor's state of mind, the pleadings regarding the alleged. In summer, Kevin Taylor in this time on any lawyers and air patches say now pay US visa shane dene inti mo pass King Japan betimi e di scheme bia ba or den for over 20-30,000 ebeku US US government be ka King Japan inti onye debi and until no use a word there or sophistication because of how sophisticated the visa application is no obi intimi sorry enko US inti sama Kevin Taylor aka no onanga sakra nim say it is not possible your opinion to man opinion na once again King Japan it does not mean say Kevin Taylor's words are actually true. And also, you so make sure and sema a year Kevin Taylor canon court patch say we can't hold this say a idea a no credit and nutino they are basing on that to throw away the suits in regards to Kennedy Japan. Now, Akaka Krabina made the conclusion in Abbey. Defamation and defamation per se cannot be brought against Taylor because Taylor's immune from civil liability under VA code and the protections granted by the First Amendment of the Constitution. You see, who are US are we the more US na US FBB the First Amendment. US FBB the First Amendment. What is the First Amendment? The First Amendment allows, for clarity, let me do certain small background check. Now, I know what the First Amendment is, but I want to be very clear here. Now, for what the First Amendment right is. What the First Amendment right is. Now, I'll be doing well to put the First Amendment right on the screens because so you be US. Remember, the laws of US will apply to the person. Yeah, in fact, Ghana has law and you debe apply. And then I say, oh, Kruma say now person is social commentator. Now can some now feel free. Me patrol. The best thing for you to do is to leave Ghana. Ghana because Ghana there. O can some kwana your opinion about somebody. You be you. And we base it on Senipania popular, why Senny credibility. US doesn't, that they don't give a hoot about these things. To Becca and Abruchi has said. Now, let's look at what the First Amendment right is. Any here, the court is also throwing away the visa fraud scheme allegation by Kevin Taylor. King Japan parties are damaging the credibility. No, the court is throwing that away. Now, let's look at what the First Amendment is. The First Amendment, as shown on the screen. So, the First Amendment provides that Congress, which is the MPs in US, that Congress makes no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting its free exercise. It protects freedom of speech. Remember how you highlight and abode. It protects freedom of speech, the press assembly, and the right to petition the government for a redress of grievances. In summer, the First Amendment in air patches say. Kevin Taylor were registered in Loud Silence Media into share LLC na eka Loud Silence Media hono a limited liability company, which means they are company, and Kevin Taylor have registered that company under the press. Under the press in US, they have a right to a First Amendment. It you can't send for being one. The First Amendment is embodied in freedom of speech, the right to redress your grievances to government. To make makachi akufa in sama yetichi amount for Bobia and San Asepa boss. No, said the US those in Kwasiasem will not fly. It won't fly because in US they have the First Amendment. But for First Amendment into screen is to be. It protects freedom of speech, the press assembly, and the right to petition the government for a redress of grievances. In this case, because Kevin Taylor, Agyapong issue Kevin Taylor, the Virginia District Court, they will use the US. Your friend is saying, law any be the assembly. Into US law, ne part is Kevin Taylor and Loud Silence Media, no, a media company on Rankasa as an individual or the First Amendment, which he is protected by freedom of speech, the press assembly, because Loud Silence Media, a digital media company, and also a right to petition the government for a redress of grievances, which means Kevin Taylor it me di obi a tem sa akufo do dwene na amamu ni ye bone. When Kevin Taylor says this, he's saying this because of the First Amendment right he's enjoying in the United States of America. Now let's go back to the court case. As again, you can see on the screen, no, but share the First Amendment. Now, yen so ewo hasi or say the amendment must be dismissed because it does not state or claim upon the relief to be granted, which means a party say dismiss it. Hana dismissing a be might say, Massa US no obiet mi Canada obia can sama found nyampa. Na nipa nankasa amfa evidence amba u problem ni sen kede di Japan hwe ho na mensene na me to aso the Virginia Computer Crimes Act who kai say beginning me started this particular briefing no me catch out say one of the things in Japan in less ejina so edisiu Kevin Taylor and say Kevin Taylor have broken or violated the Virginia Computer Crimes Act. Why King Japan is saying say the Virginia States of America no Kevin Taylor in Semna Odin violates the Virginia Computer Crimes Act. What is the Virginia Computer Crimes Act in the first place? We need to know. Let's look at it as highlighted on the screens. The Virginia Computer Crimes Act. Agyapong has also claimed damage under the provisions of the Virginia Code. To show a violation of the Virginia law, Agyapong must plead facts that demonstrate the requisite elements. 1. The accused used a computer or a computer network to communicate obscene language with the intent to coerce, intimidate, or harass. King Japan said, "Oh, sue Kevin Taylor because Kevin Taylor has violated the Virginia Code Act." And a court say, King Japan, ultimately sorry, Kevin Taylor has violated the Virginia Code Act. They be. Some person say Kevin Taylor has violated the Virginia Code Act. Who King Japan, you should be able to show, say, Kevin Taylor worked with a network and a computer malware or whatever software, and the intent was to strip you, King Japan, finish you, destroy you, your credibility, destroy your business, and all of those things. But once he doesn't do that, and now want him to provide any evidence, no, you can't just get up and say, Kevin Taylor has violated the Virginia Computer Crime Act, and now all can have say no. Uyi enusifiwa. Omusa eko obscenity. Obscenity has been defined by the Virginia General as a material that has the dominant theme or purpose of appeal to the pursuant interests. Explaining that the Virginia General Assembly wrote the statute to comply with the constitutional definition of obscenity articulated by the Supreme Court. In Sema Court, so can say, Sauka say, Obi violated the Virginia Computer and the Virginia Computer Crime Code Act and the Obekani Biana. I was say what say Nipano Adena Nipane can find one a yadia a important to it who can Japan say our bank account now bank account number no and no password wo phone so na Kevin Taylor team nya no dey beto screen so anasa dey beto social media say ko hackewa. That one can be considered under the Virginia Crime Code 111 Act. But once Kevin Taylor did not do any of these, Abeka opinion, what shows say he has violated the Crime Act, and even what shows say some kind it was so much important to you and something of value to you. That is it. Yes, so the amended complaint contains a pleadings that cannot be construed to show that Taylor communicated obscene language as defined by Virginia law. Or say, as defined by Virginia law. Or say, there is no reference to any sexual material in the communication detailed in the amendment complaint, and the dominant theme of the disputed communication in no way contain any sexual themes. The allegations the amended complaint do not support any claim could be brought under the Virginia Computer Crimes Act must also dismiss for this reason. In some more can say obscenity say ube show in Japan naked videos near there. Then the big question is, did Kevin Taylor show it? No. And even within the Virginia Criminal Computer Codes Act, it doesn't show anywhere say Obi Akasa will show your naked videos now ensure you can take the person on. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That is why almost Omujina is seeking for a dismiss of the case. Yes, and so. Now, after this particular one, we'll be bringing the whole thing to an end because in some I can't just say me I'll be going me if we been count me so I mean you be in film. Now me can say we are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook. You be to me the comments number. If I'll comment, bra, I'll read it for you. Who on Facebook, so share this particular video. Share this particular video on Facebook. Monfam commenting, bra. Rich Carter, also really, yes, that is what we are learning. That is what we are learning. Second Japan court case against Kevin Taylor has been dismissed. So, monfam commenting, bra. Any question, I'm bra. We are there for you once again on Facebook. Share this particular video on YouTube. Bring your comments. Wherever you are watching me live from, bring your comments. It be really out right here on this particular platform, Pinax TV. So this is the case which is going on. This is the case at Ekoswa. Yes, so abetua. So yanko the other one. We are last but one. Last but one. Let's say the in seminar then abegu ewa hasi. Last but one. Then we'll bring all of this particular to an end. Now, or see, immigration fraud do not specifically allege the facts that show Taylor's reckless intent or otherwise demonstrate actual malice. Again, the pleadings regarding public corruption, drug trafficking, and drug addiction similarly do not allege facts that show these statements were made with actual malice. Actual malice. The pleadings that Agyapong was never arrested for drug trafficking and therefore is a drug trafficker is a conclusion. It's not a drug trafficker, it's a conclusion. Again, the pleadings that accuse Agyapong does not exhibit signs of drug addiction and therefore cannot be a drug addict is a conclusion. The pleading that the supposedly corrupt government contract was publicly available information and therefore Agyapong could not have schemed public funds is also a conclusion. None of these conclusory pleadings need not to be considered true by the courts. And furthermore, none of these amendments allege any facts regarding Taylor's statement of Taylor's state of mind and time he made this alleged defamatory statement. In summer, court Wahane say, in summer Kevin Taylor can waka say government contract between Japan in Sawum. Kevin Taylor can in some the first Kevin Taylor can in say no just say yampa. The first say Kevin Taylor can say in Japan or your drug trafficking and just say yampa. On the Okan asem. But before then, there's a particular word which has been flying all over. Malice. What is malice? I'll show you what malice is right now. Yeah, the better screen so you can follow exactly what we are saying. So you go back to our scoreboard. What is malice? Now me met you court ne ka say in some Kevin Taylor nyina kan no nothing shows say he intentionally committed it with actual malice and he had an actual intent malice or whatever lawyers will put it. What is malice? As shown on the screens. I say malice is the desire to harm someone, ill or will, wrongfully intention, especially as increasing the guilt of certain offenses. In some, according to the dictionary and Wikipedia, ne say obi aye bibi malice, the person is doing it with the intent to finish and I say with the intent to cause harm to somebody. In this case, all the statements are Kevin Taylor making, and according to courts, no, say Kevin Taylor did not make it with actual malice. On the Okana Assem, one making statement say or making statement to harm King Japan, to kill King Japan, to destroy King Japan. He just made this statement based on opinion base, and opinion base are protected under the First Amendment in the United States of America. Yes, that is it. Now, yes, and trust to be ewaha. Also, none of the pleadings demonstrate facts that show Taylor acted with a high degree of awareness. The word here is awareness. In some court, all that was said, no, nothing shows say Kevin Taylor made all of these pronouncements saying King Japan he was involved in drugs, and I question King Japan on if any saying certain contract no. Nothing shows say Kevin Taylor in some can he was fully aware saying some can and then he was doing it to harm King Japan. The court is saying said nothing shows that. I shall say none of the pleadings demonstrate fact that show Taylor acted with a high degree of awareness of the falsity of his remarks, and when the statements were made, and a citation. That's Fairfax. Also in Fairfax, the Fourth Circuit rejected the argument that doubts about a witness credibility made the publication of the witness allegation so obviously doubtful. In Sema Omuyisu as a reference, you see in court, court case, usually far other cases are happening. And in this particular briefing, say by why versus why, and as citations. They do this citation. That's how lawyers act. In some parties, say in a similar case in Fairfax, a witness, and I say one of the persons, in witness statements, no, a publication was made in the Fairfax case, no, and that will be doubted the credibility of the witness statement. And not here the panic court, but the person won the case because the first said, you don't believe in the witness. And the credibility, you don't believe the witness statement is credible. That doesn't mean say I'm so. Hello, that is an opinion. And that is exactly why they are citing this. In a similar case, Fairfax, no, the case was dismissed because perhaps the person, as some kind, the person was not fully aware and some kind and he was saying based again on opinion based, and he was not aware. Since some kind the word here is awareness. Now, yes, and trust to be ever hasi. Yes, and trust to be also as is the case here. The conclusory pleadings may only challenge the credibility of Taylor's statements and at best allege a failure to investigate. Accordingly, the amendment complaint does not plead any facts that show the statements were so obviously doubtful that Taylor acted recklessly when making defamatory statement. Therefore, none of none of Agyapong's conclusory pleadings imply a plausible accusation that Taylor made the defamatory remarks with actual malice, as Agyapong has not sufficiently pled that the statements were made with actual malice he claimed for. In some court, and say, Kevin Taylor, in some or this is it. Kevin Taylor and some Kevin Taylor can't hear about King Japan. King Japan did not show say okay in some Kevin Taylor he really wanted to harm King Japan in it. In some party say now rate out the by saying Kevin Taylor man damages no. You didn't write anywhere say in some Kevin Taylor he had an intent to cause damage to you, and even crying some can tell like a he was fully aware saying no credit. Now, if Agyapong say in some Kevin Taylor Ekan, he was fully aware saying no credit. Kevin Taylor Agyapong needs to bring evidence that suggests that. Evidence that suggests that, and in this case, according to the court, Agyapong was not able to provide such evidence. This is the last part. The last part. Then we are done. Now let's look at this again. This last part, no, highlight it. As you can see on the screens, or see conclusion. You be conclude. Conclusion. It is undisputed Agyapong is a public figure and Taylor's statements were made regarding matters of public concern. In some courts, a patch in their final conclusion, they say, a young passe in some Agyapong castle a public figure and a young pa. And indeed, in some community like a can find on a young summer a woo vim and I'm bunting JB Dankwa and Sam Wabont because JB Dankwa, one of the sources about Agyapong ding. Cocaine and Sam about Agyapong on non casa TV so I can say for so a cocaine like a yampa. So these are things that are in the public domain already. He was saying it based on what was in the public domain and also the Ghana vs Nigeria in the year so go jam baby cast Ghana players are waka and sema Ghana vs Nigeria match opinion. May trust to be the amended complaint does not plead any factual material that demonstrates Taylor's disputed statement were published with actual malice. In sema yede buy as evidence Agyapong edify the lawyers say buy no. Omo patch say all of these materials are they published no. They were not Agyapong and his lawyers were not able to show say Kevin Taylor made these statements with actual malice. Malice no, and I'm sure say malice means you making a statement with the intent to commit harm or kill or damage somebody. So you doing anything with an intent to damage, kill, or harm somebody is considered a malice. But in this case, Agyapong ne rates and we are or the back courts no, they were not able to provide evidence that Kevin Taylor was making this statement to necessarily damage Agyapong, harm or kill him. You understand to us to be. Therefore, therefore, Agyapong has not adequately pled an actionable claim. Furthermore, the amended complaint does not plausibly state a claim under the Virginia Computer Crimes Act. For these reasons, the motion to dismiss the amended complaint granted, and above captioned civil action is dismissed. The plaintiff has 60 days to file a second amended complaint if the filing will not meet the requirements discussed in this order. It is ordered and to March 21st 2022 Alexandria, Virginia. So in summer air question, I mean breaking it down actually in summer makeni no ni tintin ni tieti ane say in summer Kevin Taylor e kan about Agyapong say aha me no Agyapong ain't me improve and check court say number 1 Kevin Taylor is not can onim pass anya no cre hwe me kasa Akufo-Addo eye wudini a me de ma dream me nim say Akufo-Addo ye wudini a no nye wudini maka in say all dem me kokko say me say Akufo-Addo ye wudini a I don't know if the statement I'm making is true or not. So why would you stand there to sue me? It's an opinion. Now one, Akufo-Addo they make kokko say me so ye wudini. Akufo-Addo e was so say indeed. Minim say or no Akufo-Addo enye wudini. Minim say or no Akufo-Addo enye wudini na me so ye wudini. And how does Akufo-Addo prove say minim say onye wudini? You can't. That is why in most cases no. Civil cases and defamation cases and libel cases are very difficult to win. This is a clear example. And Nutana appeal to the former IGP boss or sue a year guy on a 2 yi kukuana yi. Or not because say case ni kusi no jai because me and yes I said that me. It's difficult to win such cases. And in US, they have something they call First Amendment, which protects the rights of the individual. Obi say Nana Koto say stop lying. Nkofo bi ti say muna we kura be hwe kura asema making brofu yi na onte ase. Nana Koto onte ase. Wo say meboa ko docket number no ko us.gov.courtcases ewo ho Virginia ne ko read hwe. Bibi say ya o ya me follow an kanya sa medi watem. But this is the truth. The truth is that King Agyapong's case has been dismissed. It's in your patch say in Sema King Agyapong Kevitela King na King Agyapong. What evidence do you have say Kevitela news and Sema can anya no kre? You can't prove Kevitela can asem. Utimbechi. Let me give you a typical example. O say Sebe oba ho nyefe. We sure oba also ne ho nyefe. No oba ni sue. How they'll ask the lady to prove in court say also proof a chese nipa na oka say ne ho nyefe. Nipa nim say ne ho nyefe. How do you prove so be ho nyefe? When beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. In this case, King Agyapong should have proved say Kevitela knew say onye drug dealer. Say Kevitela knew say ono onye corrupt leader. Say Kevitela knew say JB Dankwa nsem na okoso unimu bi. King Agyapong was able to prove all of this. And nuntino and omugina so at dismissal case no. But the good news for King Agyapong is King Agyapong has 60 days to file a second amendment complaint. But if it does not meet the requirements, the case again will be trashed or dismissed. This is where we are. Iti pamno chano isemne course no. Finally, we have an ending to the case. Finally, yaba the end of the case. The end of the case currently. Patch say Kevitela has won the case. And King Agyapong has lost the case. Basically, his case has been dismissed. You're torturing. Shame. Foolish case. Foolish case. This is what they are saying. In the same measure, se Kevitela Lucia, Miama Betina Hasi, Wayano. Medie, Bibi Ekona Mebo. Ubi Winama be Capepe, Ubi Lusome Capepe. In this case, King Agyapong has lost. In this case, Kennedy Agyapong has lost the court case. Intino, therefore, in Semna Ewohan in ye Mufam comments nembra. So comments be bad yeah. And therefore, thank you for watching. We got almost over 3,000 people on share so far. Osha in Sema Elkoswa. And the Munina 3,000 confirm share so far. No, thank you so much. We'll give you more updates as all of these various events continue to unfold. I'm just say we be comments view of Facebook. Comment on Facebook, comment on Facebook. Yenkware say benya comment view of Facebook and sana ye be jam kwa because a nega na match. We streaming it live. Obian for commenting back 20 likes so far. It's good. But at the end of the day, no Obia for commenting back. It's here for peace. We'll give you more updates later.